Who's up for another unboxing? Okay, this is the unboxing of the Hot Toys Star Wars Return of the Jedi Luke Skywalker. Just arrived. I still have it sealed. I haven't actually even opened it yet like we did with the Thor Ragnarok in a recent unboxing. We're going to go ahead and open this on camera, and I'll give you my initial thoughts before we get into a more in-depth review in the coming days. Like I said, this just arrived. I just finished, literally, actually, I just finished. I hate when people say literally and it's not literal to what they're saying. I literally just paid the last flex payment on Luke Skywalker this month. So, of course, as soon as your flex payments are done over at Sideshow Collectibles, they ship this out. And I was surprised, actually, that this arrived. So if I did the flex payment, I'm just going to throw out a day. Let's say the 20th, which actually so happened to be my birthday. They shipped it and I got it about 4 days later. So that's pretty crazy considering they ship it from the States and I live here in Canada. It took me about, like I said, about 4 days or so. The trade-off, unfortunately, to that, and not in a great way, the trade-off for that is they use DHL shipping. And I think I want to say I paid like $40 shipping on this, which is crazy. So the one thing I would suggest for Sideshow Collectibles, or just kind of giving you guys a heads up, if you do use Sideshow Collectibles, which, I mean, I recommend, but one thing that they really should work on is the shipping options. I don't think you can really go in and assign what options you have for shipping. Ultimately, I don't even know if there's an option for like priority shipping, standard shipping, regular shipping. Maybe I just happen to have it on express shipping, so I'll have to double check that. But DHL always, here in Canada at the very least, is always expensive. And I just put that box over to the side, making a lot of noise. So here we have Luke Skywalker from Star Wars. The product code is MMS 42916 scale collectible figure. Comes in a baggie. Let's take my knife here. Just very gingerly cut the bag. I don't know why I slammed that cardboard box down. Sorry for anybody who had their earphones up. Okay, so there's the front of the box. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I think I'm casting a shadow. So I just moved the box over there. So here's the front of the box. Product code is MMS 429 Luke Skywalker 16 scale collectible figure, which so happens also to be not only my favorite Luke. This is my favorite incarnation of Luke from Return of the Jedi. But it's also my favorite lightsaber. I love that he used the green lightsaber in Return of the Jedi. I kind of wish that we would have saw more appearances of the green lightsaber. You know, I prefer the green myself over the blue. But there's the front of the box. Very, traditional Hot Toys, Star Wars. You got the gray on the sides, the black in the middle. There's the side of the box. Not much happening there. There's the back of the box with the cast and crew responsible for producing the Luke Skywalker. And of course you got your warning, choking hazards, and all that good stuff. Okay, so we're going to take this off. It's a shoe style box. In other words, you have the top part here that just slides off. I'm just going to put that over to the side and not make too much of a noise. And there's Luke Skywalker, the interior insert. The Jabba's Palace robe that he wears at the beginning of the movie. And we'll go ahead and take that off. Put that also to the side. I feel like I'm casting another shadow, so over it goes to my pile over there. It's got so much stuff happening over there. Okay, so we're going to pull this out. Put that to the side. Of course, Luke comes with a display base. There's his robe right there. I don't know if I would ever display him with the robe. I'd have to have other stuff, I think, happening. Like, I would want to probably get the new Jabba the Hutt, which is coming out, I want to say next year. If I displayed, say, Jabba on his throne, I probably would put Luke there with the robe. I think if not, I probably would just be displaying Luke Skywalker with, just his regular black Jedi outfit. Okay, so we got, there's bound to be tape here somewhere. Tape, tape, tape. I feel like I'm not even coming across any tape. Oh, maybe there's a piece of tape. There we go. I'm sure I'm not the only one that has done this. You got to open up the top tray of the Hot Toys, or whatever it is that you're opening. And you always get surprised by a little piece of tape that's just stuck there. It's like, oh, right, yeah. Okay, so like just tipping this up slightly. A series of interchangeable hands. The damaged Luke hand. There's the hand that's holding the lightsaber. This is going to be, I guess, the battery one. Some shackles, blaster. A new introduced part for the new lightsaber. Got the fanning sort of thing happening. And of course your instruction guide right at the bottom. Always, just before I go to review something, I open this up, of course, thoroughly read through it. Because I don't want to accidentally bend an arm too much. Add stress, unnecessary stress to something. I really don't want that. Okay, so let's take Luke out. There we go. Of course, he's got plastic galore. Always the plastic right around the boots, eh? Always want to cut the tape just on that to get over his boots. There's one. Got the other tape on the other side. There we go. I've mentioned this on countless occasions, but that is the one bit of plastic I despise the most when it comes to taking a 6-scale figure out of, you know, all the plastic that's on them is around the boots. They just never come off easy. Now this hand looks like he's got plastic. I need to take the hand off for that. Let's plug that into place. I have a bunch of Luke Skywalkers. Many of them are from Sideshow Collectibles, the Sideshow Lukes. I've got the Snow Speeder Luke. Don't want to accidentally rip or damage the suit here. I've got the Snow Speeder Pilot Luke, which I didn't realize was so hard to come by. And I've got the Tauntaun Luke, I suppose. I think that's the only Lukes that... And then for the Hot Toys, I've got the New Hope Luke Skywalker. So this is technically not my first Luke, but it's only my second Hot Toys Luke. Seems to have a removable head. I'm not really sure why. I probably will know soon enough. I just took his head off for a second. Let's put that right there. I want to take the collar off. All this prepping that, there we go, all this prepping that I would do prior to a review, you guys now get to see while I'm doing the unboxing. I'm not really sure why his hair comes off. Unless it's for the hood, but I don't think so. I'm just going to put his head on here for a second. Now I'm curious. Somebody would probably say, well, if you ordered it, you probably would know why the hairpiece comes off. I am just going to open this up and have a look, though. Let's have a look. The Luke Skywalker instruction guide. Oh, okay. As quickly as I ask the question, I flip right to the section on the manual that tells me it's interchangeable with upcoming accessories. Now I'm trying to think here, specifically for this Luke. What would he have for future pieces that would involve taking the hair off? Because, I mean, there's Endor Luke, but Endor Luke isn't wearing this outfit. I can't... I'm trying to think, actually, in the back of my mind here, why he would have the removable hairpiece. If you guys can think of it, let me know down below. Oh, we'll just go ahead and get his head on completely. There's the face sculpt. I think it looks better than it did online. Online, I think the open mouth bothered me more. Seeing it now in hand, it kind of has, I don't know, don't want to say monkey, but it's got a very, it seems like his mouth sticks out a little too far out. Maybe it's just the way I'm looking at it. I think face on, it looks better than it does. Well, actually, you know, on the sides it doesn't look too bad either. Maybe it's just the slight. I think it clearly is more Luke's expression when he's in Jabba's palace than anything else. I want to say that the face seems off. There's something about it that's bothering me. I can't quite put my finger on it. The paint, though, is really good on it. Again, I just don't know why the hairpiece has to come off. But it does sit right on top of his ears. There we go. Of course, he's got his black Jedi outfit. Little clips on the side for his blaster as well as his lightsaber. It's got pockets on the side. Doesn't look like this one pocket opens, just for show. His boots are otherwise almost faux leather. They have their stitching to it. I feel like the leather feels almost cheap. Makes his legs very narrow as well. Like there's not really a lot of... Maybe they could have put some extra padding in there because it does make his legs look awfully string bean, very lanky. Undersides of his feet. Yeah, not too bad of a figure. I'm kind of... It's funny that this is now the second unboxing in the last, what, month or so. And I'm kind of left in the same feeling as what I was with the Thor Ragnarok. I'm on the fence as to how I feel about the Thor head sculpt. I'm slightly on the fence on how I feel about the head sculpt for Luke here, although admittingly so, I think the head sculpt here is better on Luke than I would almost say that the Thor, like the head sculpt here is better than it was on the Thor. Okay, so like I said, he's got, let's see if I can get the display base off. So I'm just going to take this part off, this extra piece of plastic. Then he comes with the display base, and I've seen a couple of early reviews for this guy. So he comes with the adjustable neck with the supporting clip there. Then he comes with the display base. Now these are some canisters, which I have to admit, I don't remember from the movie. I'm assuming it's probably from Jabba's palace. Go ahead and cut the plastic here very carefully. I don't want to scratch the plastic. There we go. Okay, so the defaulted is this one here, which I would assume more so is then the interior. These slide, these little notches here slide in. Line those up. Almost doesn't feel right away that they click into place. Unless that's the interior. Just trying to think here. Unless it's the interior of the Death Star or the interior of the headquarters on Endor, but that... Of course, you got some canisters there. The adjustable neck would go right here, slot into place there. As I'm looking through this Luke, it dawns on me. I think it's been about 4 years at the latest that I've seen Return of the Jedi last. It's been a very long time, which is funny because Return of the Jedi is one of my favorite of the Star Wars films. There's the adjustable neck. And again, you've got the canisters behind it. There's the back side there. And then you can replace it. Like, I'm not going to get into too much of a review of this. This is just like the initial unboxing. I'm just going to pull that off. And pop. These feel like this one, I guess, doesn't feel too sensitive. But I worry, like, I'm trying to think where is the stress area on this that I can push. I guess I can push it on the sides. And then push that all the way through. Push on one side, on the other side, there we go. Then he's got some swappable pieces, but they're more like cardboard. There is texturing to it. I don't know if you can see it, but there's these little rigid bumps on it. But it is still like, it's almost the thickness of a cue card if you've gone to school and you've had cue cards for speeches, it's about that thickness. This one does feel like it's like a very high grain, non-coursed sandpaper, almost like one of the wet sandpapers. Kind of got that same texturing. So one is the outside area of Dagobah, not Dagobah, Tatooine, little sand area of Tatooine, and I guess this would be the interior of Jabba's palace. And either one of them, you just line them up, and there, keeps the hole going. Fit that through, and then the neck clip, or really the neck in its entirety, keeps everything in place. There is a little bit of shifting, as I guessed would be the case. It does shift a little bit though. But I mean, that would be a good base for if you're displaying him with the robe. I still don't know which way I'm going to display Luke. I do really like this look though. I wouldn't want to shroud that, so to speak. Literally, I wouldn't want to shroud that with a cloak. Okay, so then he's got his shackles. He's got his blaster. He's got a swappable arm, which the battery, I probably have to put, do I have to put the batteries in? I'm just looking here, where are they? Oh, the batteries are right there. So the answer is yes, I would have to put the batteries in. This would then slide up his one sleeve, and then he'd have the option to light up his arm. Good if you always keep the batteries in. You know, you could just permanently keep this arm in place. You wouldn't have to necessarily, you know, you wouldn't have to necessarily pull this one out, pop this one in, so to speak. It does have a permanent lightsaber. Then he has, I'll pull these out. A little harder to get this one. He's got his full lightsaber. Does he? I'm assuming this should come off. There we go. And then that should clip right. Let's move his arm out of the way. That should clip right there. And if we grab his blaster should have, there's this little loop here, unless, let me just check the instructions. Have a look at the instructions. I guess I could figure it out, but I just don't want to make this longer than it needs to be. Okay, so let's see. Interchangeable styles with magnetic feature on the collar. I like that. I can take the cloak off, take the belt off. So I'm gonna if I slide that all off, then I could have Luke without the robe. And again, this is magnetized, so you can just fold that back. Probably what I'll consider doing. Tuck that underneath. And where does the blaster go? Well, the shackles obviously go around his hand. Blaster does not show where it goes. Here it does show lightsaber goes there, but it doesn't show where the blaster goes. So he's got this extra hook here. I don't see a place on the gun that actually clips onto that. I guess he would more so have a holster than anything else, but he's got this extra hook. Then the other thing is, the lightsaber also has this attachment. Just click that into place, and it's more, it's the swooshing blade, or, you know, it would be the blade in motion. Looks good, it's got a nice coloring to it, obviously translucent. Yeah, not too bad. Okay, and then we've already looked at these already, but like I said, he's got a series of interchangeable hands. The damaged hand is pretty nice, a nice touch. So you get a total of 8 hands. Get the batteries, get some extra pegs. You always get extra pegs, and it looks like you get a couple extra buttons in there as well. I have yet to use any of the buttons. Knock on something. Knock on wood. I've yet to use any of the buttons that come included with these figures. That's good. I haven't had any issues with it. And issue-wise, like I said, it's not a bad-looking Luke. We'll get a little bit more in-depth when we do a full review of this, but this was just an unboxing of the new Luke Skywalker from Hot Toys. If you guys have had a chance to pick this one up for yourself, let me know in the comments section what you think of him. And like I said, we're going to do a full in-depth review of him in the next couple of days or so. I just want to give you my early thoughts on Luke Skywalker, which early thought-wise, I'm still a little on the fence honestly, about the head sculpt, but I think I'm happier with this head sculpt than I am with the other unboxing that I just recently did, which was the Thor Ragnarok. That head sculpt looks way too long. I think if anything, I'll probably display him with the helmet, which I think may compensate for the fact that his head is as big as it is. A review of Gladiator Thor will be on its way, and of course the review of Return of the Jedi will be on its way as well. By the way, big shout out to Trent. I think Trent actually is planning on getting dressed up as Return of the Jedi Luke Skywalker, which is pretty cool because, again, he is my favorite look for Luke Skywalker in the initial 3 Star Wars films. No, not the gross prequels, but of course, New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi. Again, today we were having a look at the new release. This was the Hot Toys Return of the Jedi Luke Skywalker 6-scale figure. Just got my flex payment done. Arrived right away. Paid a lot for shipping. I'm going to have to see if I can look into a more affordable means. You know, I would have to look on their website to see if maybe there's a slower option. I don't literally need him at my doorstep the moment I pay the last installment, which is, to their testament, they're fast for shipping, but about $40 on DHL is ouch. Ouchie, 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 ouchie. Stay tuned, guys. We're going to, like I said, a review of this guy will be on his way. And, of course, other videos also will be coming your way as well. So stay tuned for those. Thanks for watching. See you next time.